Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I have two roles actually today. First role is to make sure we can all get to the refreshment break and everyone can have a little bit of a drink and a toilet stop. Hopefully get things back on time. The other purpose today is to give you an overview of Bluechiip, a company which I'm a co-founder of and the CEO and Managing Director of. Again, thanks to the organisers and the sponsors of this event, as was just said, the diversity of companies that are presenting here today. We're something very different. We believe we're very attractive. We're on a lot of people's radars. And my job today is just to give you the highlights of Bluechiip. I'm going to be around the next couple of days. There's some material out in the front foyer, the annual report and some research reports. Have a look at our website. Have a look at Bluechiip. Hopefully it's something that will be attractive to some of you. Just a bit of fire up music for everyone just to wake you up now that I've got your attention. Bluechiip is more than coming, Bluechiip is here. We're very excited. My job today is to give you a brief overview of our company. The key thing about Bluechiip, and it's actually quite simple, there is a need, we have a solution, and we actually have the strategy to take advantage of that. I'll then explain the opportunities that exist for the company and its growth plans, and hopefully we'll have some quick time for Q&A. The obligatory disclaimer, we have a number of things on the go at the moment, and obviously the forward-looking statements that I make, this is the regulatory aspect that's required. So, the company overview. As was said in the introduction, Bluechiip is a technology company. We're providing a novel tracking and monitoring solution that is a tool that is used by initially the healthcare market, the life sciences market. The 6 points that we've got listed really summarise the company. The first target market, which is known as biobanking, is broad, it is growing, and there is an immediate need, a nice position to be in. We have a patented technology solution. The first patents were lodged back in 2003 when we incorporated the company, that clearly addresses the market's needs. We listen, we tailored our solution so that it's ready for market implementation. Very important to note that all the IP that we own, all the patents that we have are wholly owned by Bluechiip. There is no licenses, no universities involved. It's very clean. We have a go-to-market strategy that is backed with commercial partners and tier one manufacturing partners that really gives us the best chance of succeeding. This is what's known in the technology game as a platform technology. There are a number of market applications for this. It's a great problem to have, but it's very important to be focused. That's what we're doing for our first market application known as biobanking. But we do have numerous other market applications that we will be pursuing over the course of time. We have, very excitedly, entered the commercialisation phase. We've made our maiden sales, which after 7-8 years of research and development is very important, and we're on a very solid platform now to be able to continue that growth. And again, this is all about shareholder value and creating shareholder wealth. We see that Bluechiip has every chance to be the gold standard tracking solution and the best practice in this first market and others. So the market and the needs. The first market, as I said, is what's known as biobanking. It is a global market. It is growing significantly. If we think about if anyone has stored their child's umbilical cord blood, if anyone or knows of anyone that has gone through IVF, all of those samples are stored in facilities where they're very controlled. They're stored in very harsh temperatures to be able to maintain the integrity of that sample. That is the market that we're in. In 2009, it was reported by Time magazine as one of the growth markets that to watch, one of the 10 ideas changing the world right now. It is a large market. There are about 2 billion samples being stored around the world in pharmaceutical companies, in labs, pathology labs, IVF labs, and it's growing at about 200 million per annum. So it is large. There are a number of services associated with this, clinical trial organisations. The growth areas are, as I've said, cord blood. I'm a parent of 4 kids. We haven't stored our cord blood because I think in the rush of when you're filling out your forms, and it was either on a weekend or a public holiday, we didn't have that opportunity. But that's really insurance for your kids. You want to store that richest source of your stem cells, your child's stem cells. Heaven forbid you need it, that's the way you do it. You pay a fee to have that stored in a controlled way. Bluechiip is the way that helps track and monitor the integrity of that sample. There is an immediate need, as I said, and we're being pulled by the market. Again, a nice position to be in. But what's our competition? What are we up against? What are the current tracking technologies and labelling technologies? Labels, handwritten or pre-printed, is very common. I don't know if any of you have given blood recently, but they do still use handwritten labels. They may have upgraded to the next one, which is barcodes. Labels, obviously, there are transposition errors. If they're handwritten, labels do fall off. Labels are a static device that have no other functionality other than what you can see. They don't sense temperature, as we've highlighted there. Barcodes are a superb technology in most environments. In the environments that we're talking about, and some of the photos that you can see there where they're very frost orientated, you can't read that barcode. You can't identify that sample that you're trying to identify. Barcodes, because of the frost, have significantly reduced the ability to read through that frost, and barcodes themselves can't sense temperature. A technology known as RFID, radio frequency identification, is a technology that we're all exposed to. We use it in our access passes to get into the building. Our e-tag is an RFID device. The chip in your dog or cat is an RFID device. Again, it's an electronics device. It's fine in most environments, but in this environment in life sciences that we're operating in, where they're very harsh environments, where there's plastic consumables, sterilisation, and samples being stored in low temperatures, electronics don't like that. So they can't survive the sterilisation process. They can't survive the moulding process. They actually either can't survive or don't operate in those low temperature environments, right down to what's called liquid nitrogen, minus 196 degrees centigrade, which is very cold. And standalone RFID technologies do not sense temperature. They would need to be combined with another technology. So we have come up with the Bluechiip tracking solution. We now have a product suite that is available for market that we are selling. We're delivering our first products in the next few months, and the calendar year of 2013 and this financial year is really another catalyst year in Bluechiip's evolution. Without going into too much detail, as we have up the top here, and I'll explain a little bit further, the uniqueness of our system is all based around a very small chip. It looks like a microchip. It is based on what's called MEMS or micro technology. It's purely mechanical. That chip has all the smarts of identification and tracking. What do you do with it? In the first instance, we put it into a test tube, a standard 2 ml cryo tube, cryo vial that is used, again, the most common item that is used in this healthcare market. Those tubes are stored in boxes. We also track blood bags. Blood bags and tubes and boxes are stored in these metal racks that are used in freezers and liquid nitrogen tanks. This item is the hardware of our system. Like with barcode scanners, like with RFID readers, you need to be able to read that device. This is our current industrially designed system that is available for use in this healthcare market. And the final bit of our system is the software. So we're actually offering a package that is relevant and totally been developed for this market because we've listened and understanding what the marketplace needs now. Without going into the technology, as I said before, this very smart chip that is 0.5 millimetre by 0.5 millimetre is based on what's called MEMS technology. It's very robust. It can survive high temperatures, it can survive low temperatures, it can survive sterilisation, all very relevant for the healthcare market that we're first in. The needs of the market and the benefits, why would people need to use something like Bluechiip, which is smarter than the other technologies and labelling methodologies that are available? It's all about that temperature sensing capability. It's all about sample integrity. When you're basing your research as a pharmaceutical company on a sample, you need to know that it is the best and that it hasn't been contravened along the way. That's what Bluechiip does, and we're now kind of learning as we go. We're in the chain of custody game. People want to know where that sample's been, who's handled it, what temperature it's been at, what quality it's at. That's what Bluechiip can provide. As I said at the start, as a technology company, obviously it's very important to our major asset is our IP. We have a robust patent portfolio that now we have 15 patents covering 7 patent families. 6 of those have been granted in the US and Europe. We just had another one recently go through the next stage to PCT. We have a number of patents now that are under examination. We continuously review our patent portfolio, grow our patent portfolio to give us that added protection. We have clearly established freedom to operate, and we continue to monitor that, obviously, very regularly. Also part of our IP portfolio, and it was mentioned earlier on before, is brand. We now own the trademark of Bluechiip and the logo. We own that in the US and elsewhere in Australia. That is part of the IP. So, we have a need in the market, we have the product, so how are we going to get it into the marketplace? A number of different strategies. We can do direct sales or work through distributors. We've recently appointed a commercial director. We're currently in discussions with a global distributor and other channel partners that can help us give that global reach. As some of those who may have followed Bluechiip, almost literally this time last year in November, Corning Life Sciences, one of the divisions of Corning Incorporated, has been evaluating the Bluechiip technology. They were involved in a trial that we did earlier on this year. So there are some major organisations looking at Bluechiip, evaluating it, helping us get it into the marketplace. And we're looking at securing further strategic partners that can provide that avenue to the market. We're implementing what is known as an early adopter program. We've already enrolled 2 US corporations, very well branded corporations. ATCC is based in Virginia, just outside of Washington, DC. Gentris Corporation is in the research triangle of North Carolina, and we're seeking others actually around the world. We have a couple of candidates here in Australia, we have one in the UK, and we have others in Italy. We are looking at commercially launching this from early 2013, but we already have sales as part of the early adopter program. One of the key things about Bluechiip is we have tier 1 production partners that ensure that all those products that I mentioned before are made by highly regarded, fully commercially and high volume capable organisations. The chips and tags are made by an organisation where the foundry that we're using is based in Italy, but it's based out of Geneva. It's listed on the New York Stock Exchange. The consumables, we're currently securing a contract manufacturer in Asia for that. The readers, the hardware that I mentioned before, is being made by another NASDAQ-listed company that's based out of Wisconsin and has facilities in Penang. And the accessories, the racks that I showed before, also is being made by an organisation out of Malaysia. So we're actually getting a lot of the work done in a hub of Malaysia in Penang, which is excellent. As I mentioned, this is a platform technology. It's very easy to get distracted by these, but it shows that there's a lot of upside in Bluechiip. There are opportunities in healthcare, in tracking surgical instruments and other items, but there are a number of other opportunities for Bluechiip outside of healthcare. and that includes security and defence. We're in discussion with organisations like the US Department of Defence. NASA and Boeing are interested in this from aerospace and aviation. The logistics companies are interested in this from a global cold chain, supply chain perspective. So there are a number of opportunities that we will pursue in the goodness of time. Cognizant of time, and I think a lot of these materials actually are provided in the handbook, so I'm not really going to go into it in too much detail without. But what I do want to emphasise here about our company is the board and management and executive team that we have. Obviously, that's our other strongest asset, the ability to be able to commercialise this technology, take it to the next phase, and having the right people behind it at the board level, at the executive level. We have ASX listed experience, we have healthcare experience, we have commercialisation experience at the board level, and we have the different facets covered at the executive level. All of those information, that's available on our website. Speak to me, have a look at the annual report. Over the last year, it's been quite a momentous process for Bluechiip. A number of key announcements that have been made from this time last year, as I mentioned, the agreements that we made with ATCC and Corning. We did a private placement earlier on this year successfully. We engaged Plexus as another manufacturing partner. An exciting project that we are literally working on at the moment is with the Australian synchrotron, just based next to Monash University, where we're delivering a solution to them. This is a global opportunity of working with synchrotrons and as well, coincidentally, in the healthcare life sciences game. We secured our first sale, which was obviously a momentous thing, back in June 2012, after the successful completion of a trial earlier on this year. In August, we signed Gentris, who I mentioned before. As I mentioned, we signed a commercial director. We've recently had a patent granted. We're working on a number of opportunities. So we anticipate some milestones that could have value inflection aspect on our share price. Launching our commercialisation plan, securing those partners will actually bring in further sales. That's what this is all about: commercial product, commercial sales and commercial partners. Forming partnerships with those route-to-market partners, distributors, is critical. Entering co-development and license agreements where there is expertise in this market, automation companies. Bluechiip is a very smart technology company, but it's also smart in using the partnering model. Granting patents, going to other market verticals, getting grants, industry awards, these are all potential opportunities where we hope to see some share price inflections. So, in summary, the opportunity that is here is to have a look at Bluechiip. We would welcome anyone from a retail investor, sophisticated or professional investor, institutional investors, strategic investors, to help bolster the now already growing shareholder register. We have 400 registers. This is the next phase of Bluechiip. We welcome anyone to join the board, to join the shareholder register. So the next steps, please have a look at our website. There's a lot of information on there that's available. Have a word to your broker about Bluechiip. BCT is our code. Please take our annual report, which is out in the foyer, and feel free to contact me. I'm going to be around here for the next 2 days, so obviously there's an opportunity for us to catch up, whether it's over a coffee or drink. I'm going to be around. There's my contact details. Thank you very much.
We've got time for a couple of questions, if there are any.
Yes. That was actually in what's known as the surgical instrument area of sterilisation, where we're able to track individual surgical instruments and the loaner kits and the kits that they're stored in. It's actually just been granted in the US, and the examiner in Europe is hopefully about to issue his positive decree. That is right. That is right. And the PCT one that I just mentioned, which is published and people can search the website, it's been published now, so it's out there, is actually in the sample storage game, which is in this life sciences biobanking market that we're currently playing in.
Are the chips and the readers already being manufactured, or you said you had some orders, so presumably there's
Yes, absolutely. So the chips are being made in Italy, as I said, in Milan, and another part of it down in Catania, down in the south in Sicily. And the readers are being made by this organisation Plexus out of Penang. We've given commitments to production levels next year, and it's all systems go.
And has there been have you sort of tested the output in terms of defects and things like that?
Absolutely, yep. The normal, typical production or product development cycle. And that's why we've gone with, tier one Bluechiip production partners. ST Microelectronic make devices that are in this room today in your iPhone and your iPad. That's their largest customer. Apple. Plexus' largest customer is GE. So we're going with some very decent organisations where quality is essential and they have a process that you have to go through. We want to give ourselves every best chance that we've got top-notch quality product out there.
And if you'll indulge me a third question,
okay.
When you have a sales contract, is it for a dozen of these things? Is it for hundreds of thousands? Is it for millions? And does your manufacturer have to be making hundreds of millions to do it economically?
The larger the order, the better. And the orders to date are in the small levels, but will grow. The benefit, again, of having organisations like ST Microelectronic and Plexus is that they're fully capable. They just turn the dial up. That's why we've gone with them rather than going with a smaller organisation that doesn't have that capability. Again, that capability and the efficiencies are there.
Well, thanks very much, Brett.
Thank you.
Well done.